I'm calling this one Law of Attraction Solutions. And the reason why is because throughout the years of believing, practicing, and coming across others who proclaim to all believe in the law of attraction, I realized that there's different levels of believing in the law of attraction. And for me personally, I'm a law of attraction extremist. And here's what I mean by being a law of attraction extremist. I believe without the shadow of a doubt. Not only do I believe, I live as if I am 100% responsible for the quality of my life experience. I don't meet too many people that live that way. I believe I am the creator of my personal reality all the way. No room for doubt, no room for what ifs. And that's why I call myself a law of attraction extremist. And the reason I'm going to proudly wear that badge of honor and say that I'm a law of attraction extremist is because what I've found is that most people believe in the law of attraction when it's convenient. They believe in the law of attraction as long as things are going okay. They believe in the law of attraction until something happens that appears to be out of their control. And for me, I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I've elevated beyond conveniently believing in the law of attraction. So for me, it means that I am totally responsible for what shows up in my life, good or bad. And the caveat to accepting that for me, although it is a very responsible way for me to live, what that means is that even when things show up that I don't want, it gives me a tremendous amount of power believing that I created it, because it also causes me to understand that I can change it. You see, if something shows up in my reality that I don't want, and I think the source of that thing showing up is outside of me, then that automatically assumes that there's very little I can do to change my circumstances. And I don't live that way. Most people that I come across are law of attraction novelists. They don't really believe all the way. And the reason why I know that is because if you talk to them, when things are not going their way, they start projecting the responsibility to something outside of them. And there is no limit to how creative people can be when projecting the responsibility of what shows up outside of it. There's no creative limitation. God, the devil, the universe, the way the stars align, the solar flares from the sun, the rotation of the earth, Archangel Michael, zodiac signs, the government, parents, neighbors, sisters, brothers. People get very creative, very, 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 very creative when it comes to blaming things on something outside of them when it's not going their way. And me, I don't live like that. And it's very hard when you are in the midst of uncertainty to believe that you have the power to change your circumstances, because common sense says that if you did have the power to change your circumstances, then you would have changed it. You wouldn't have chose this thing that's happening in the first place if you really had control over your reality. But people fail to remember that the law of attraction is not just about your positive thoughts. Law of attraction is also about your negative thoughts, aka where you're focused. Your focus creates, boom, hocus pocus. What's hocus pocus? Where you're focused creates the reality. Where you're focused creates where you are living, where you are headed, what you're going to get. And most people, from my perspective, I won't say most people, but a lot of people are focused on things they don't want to happen. They're focused on scenarios they don't want to play out. They're focused on fear. They're focused on lack. They're focused on limitations, and they are addicted to blaming something outside of them for the way things are going or not going in their reality. And that's just the truth of the matter. It's a fact. People are conveniently blaming others for their circumstances, and nothing will change until you accept that either you create your reality or you don't. When you play the middle road, all that leads to is confusion. All that leads to is results that you really don't want. All that leads to is blaming when it's convenient and then patting yourself on the back when it's convenient. I created all of this. I manifested all of this. And I am bold enough to say that because I know the mental training that I had to go through in order to get to where I am today. I know what I had to put myself through, know what I had to subject myself to, know what I had to focus on. I know what had to be done. I know the war that I went through inside of my own biological makeup in order for me to convince myself that all of this was possible. And I'm still convincing myself that even more is possible. So when you get on this law of attraction journey as a newbie, understand that there are levels to this, and very few people make it to the level where they accept that they create their reality 100%. And to me, if you believe you create your reality, and then also you talk about some type of deity that you believe in, or the weighing and the wanding of the universe, or whatever, you're not there at mastery yet, because mastery is not about perfection, but mastery is about ownership. And until you accept that you create your personal reality, you'll never own your personal reality. This is something that most spiritual teachers won't tell you, because most spiritual teachers are trying to say things that make you feel good on the inside. And although I do want you to feel good on the inside, I don't want to say things only for the purpose of making you feel good on the inside. I want you to know that if you have things in your reality that keep showing up that you don't like, until you accept that you created it fully and blame nothing outside of you, no parent, no sister, no brother, no uncle, no mother, until you accept that it sprung from your consciousness, it's going to be hard for you to change it for good. And that's law of attraction extremism. It's Robbie Cornelius, always encouraging you to master your mind and make money online.